Welcome back to Elevated Consumption on this episode of Winning an Elevated Mindset with David Sinopoli. In this segment, we're going to talk about building and scaling a lifestyle empire. So David, from club space to 3 Points and beyond, each of your ventures has a unique identity. How do you approach brand building across multiple spaces?
There has to be interconnection so people understand that they're like sister brothers, products of each other.
Great.
So we do a lot to connect the venues via like activations and programs that make sense. So that's important. They have to feel cohesive. Otherwise, one will be, kind of competes with each other, or you don't want one of the products to feel lackluster against the other ones, right? Spaces is monster. And it was a brand way before us. So cultivating what we've done there is mostly about maintaining history and just updating and modernizing and putting our own spin on it. But that brand has been there and has been strong, and it's a notorious brand.
Is that like the staple of your whole business?
I would say so. Yeah, I mean, it's the frequency that we use it and the amount of people that go through that building and the history that it has to Miami. I think it is. I think it would be weird to say that it wouldn't be. But depending on the time of year, Factory Town could be the focus, or 3 Points could be the focus, and Space is always just there doing its thing while those things are going on too. So yeah, I would say Space is kind of the centerpiece, the mothership. And then, 3 Points has benefited a lot from it, from me being involved in Space and expanding the electronic music offering at 3 Points has really helped 3 Points grow into what it is now.
What's the secret to creating a venue that lasts when so many nightlife spots come and go?
Don't do coke.
Yeah. Good advice. Good advice, especially in Miami.
That's the best thing I could tell you. Don't get high on your own supply. That'll help you with a lot of things. If you just say, hey, I'm not going to do coke when I open up this venue in Miami, you will outlast a lot of people that are doing coke and are making fucking stupid decisions. And I've been lucky to find partners that are drug-free. We smoke weed. I smoke weed. They don't even smoke weed, but we are pretty clean about how we go about our business. We have a pretty good ethical code with our staff, and really can't tell you how lucky we are to have had such a good team that has been built. We started small, and they attracted the next layer of people and the next layer of people. So now if somebody comes in with a shit attitude in one of our operations, they get booted really quickly. So a lot of our success is for the people that work with us.
People feel a sense of family.
Yeah, and purpose.
Right.
Purpose, we let a lot of our people to experiment with their own parties. A lot of people that work with us are DJs themselves or throw their own parties, so we give them platforms to do it. And I think if you work with us long enough, you understand what we're doing, and then that embodies this element of pride and
there's intention.
And you want to be exceptional at stage managing or artist liaisoning, bartending, there's a level of fucking seriousness that everyone takes to their job. And we have fun with it, and we're cool, and there's laid back atmosphere, but you got to be on time, and you have to do your job, and you have to hit the type of expectations that we have, which are to take it for real and know that it's an option. You don't have to work here. So we've been very lucky. We have a lot of superstars inside of our organization that help us to keep it really solid and not us having to micromanage and watch them. So you guys could go into the club and I'm not there. I'm pretty certain you're gonna have a great experience. And if you didn't, and I found out like a little nuance, or somebody was like rough with you on the way out and you got escorted out, or something happened, people talk to us and we address that shit really quickly. So the level of accountability that we have with each other too.
How do you navigate the balance between exclusivity and accessibility, keeping things high end while maintaining a strong community feel?
Well, I think everything we have is tickets, you know, so you see with our tickets, they always start around like $10, $15 for their smaller rooms, and like $20, $30 for the larger things. The festival, we just drop prices at the festival. It's kind of like we're calling it reverse inflation. But we believe in the model that ticket sales snowball. So if you start small and you give the people that maybe don't have the ability to buy a $60, $100 ticket a chance to be there right when the ticket goes live, they get an affordable ticket and they can come in.
Right.
And we have these before like before 2 a.m. tickets, or at some of the clubs it's like before midnight, and they're make you like time sensitive, like you have to come in before a certain time, and they're cheaper.
And is that to give you like a base crowd?
That too.
Right.
So the DJ early has people there, and then snowball, right? The party is busy, people come up to the door.
And they're spending money at the bar. I mean, you get less for the ticket, but they're...
For sure.
Yep.
And then, but then there's somebody that comes up to the door at 12:30 and the room's packed, there's a different price at the door.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that helps us to just, people can follow that model. I figure it out.
What was the biggest all-in risk you've taken in your career, and how did it pay off?
Oh man, I've taken a couple. I mean, 3 points every year is a pretty big fucking risk. It's a little safer now with it being established. The money is way higher, but we can afford insurance. I think 2016 3 points was the biggest risk I ever took, and when we saw the hurricane coming, we decided to go forward with it, with the idea that the hurricane would miss us. Like, you know, anybody that's been in South Florida knows that.
It's a gamble.
But most of the time, they pass you, and the next day is beautiful.
Times nothing really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, if that situation would have happened now, right, where Hurricane Matthew was coming towards us and where we are at 3 points, I would have canceled. That'd been an easy conversation.
And you had to change the date a few times.
We tried,
Okay.
and we ended up
And
right
you
back
bring
to
it
where,
back.
yeah,
Gotcha.
just for booking and stuff, it made more sense. But that year we had LCD Sound System. We were 3 years in there. They just reunited, and they were going to come. So I was also like really bullish to make that happen. And when it looked like really bleak in the early part of the week of that festival, people wanted me to throw in the towel, and I just tried to wait as long as I could. And then, you know, Thursday night, it took a little turn north, and Friday we were setting up the festival. We opened up late. LCD couldn't make it. They couldn't get down the state of Florida. It was Obama made it a state of emergency for the state, so they had to go right to Austin and pick up their real paycheck at ACL. But Saturday and Sunday we had a full-on festival, and instead of like losing the whole thing, because I think if we canceled that year, it could have been it. Could have been it for us.
I think you also gave people an escape from what they were.
For sure. They were stir crazy at that point. The party was sick. Like, I didn't look at any of the numbers until Monday, Tuesday.
Like a true hurricane party.
It was.
Yeah.
And I was so happy. Like, we pulled it off, and, you know, M83 still played, and Thievery Corporation, and we still had a really good festival. But Monday and Tuesday were sobering to know, like, how much money we owed. And how, like, the real question was like, okay, well, how are we going to pay this? Like, we really never was faced with that before. So it was a gamble. It was a gut gamble. It paid off, but it was rough for a couple of years there, just trying to figure out the finances of it all.
And did COVID pandemic throw a similar curveball, or was it different kind of circumstance?
I feel like the hurricane before helped me to prepare for dealing with COVID. We moved the festival date like 4 times during COVID, because you never really knew when we were going to be out. So we kept redoing the lineup, which is cool. Like building out like fake lineups that we thought were going to happen. At the time, we didn't think they were fake, but going back to the 2021 3 points, it really was the 2020 3 points, 4 different iterations of it till we got to the final one.
Wow.
We ended up breaking off, like we thought we were going to do it in May of 21, and we had a whole lineup for May of 21. And then we realized May wasn't going to happen to the scale of what we wanted to do. We ended up doing Secret Project, which was, we took like 5 or 6 of the acts each day that were booked, and we just went to Virginia Key and did a 2-day festival in May of 21. And then we gave them a double money, those people, to come back and play 21 October. So like Black Coffee, Bedouin, Eric Prydz all played twice in 21 for us.
So you renegotiated?
Yeah, but they were happy about it because they were like, okay, say I was making 50K on that May date that you booked for me for, now I'm making 100 between the two, and you're not canceling my May date.
And Miami's a great place for exposure too.
Yeah, I mean, we were also the only place that was opening up at that time. Like,
Florida didn't close down.
no,
Right.
May 21 is fucking really early for New York and LA, so we were definitely first with like a video of that size of people dancing, and that whole COVID thing was risky. I mean, we were really fortunate to be in Florida, guys.
Right.
My business probably would not be what it is right now if I was doing this in any other state. Like, I feel really lucky to be in Miami and to be in Florida during that time. It could have been so much worse.
Has direct competition moved into Miami because of it?
Originally, yeah. Yeah, when they weren't able to open up as much in New York and LA, they all came for us here.
Right.
But once their venues started opening up in their cities, they redirected their energy. They're still here a little bit, but it is what it is.
There's a growing demand for boutique, intimate music experiences. How do you see the shift influencing the Miami nightlife?
I think it's great. It just means more places. I've been always a proponent of like more in Miami venue-wise is better for everyone. There was a period of time where, especially post-COVID, where a lot of places weren't reopened and a lot of places hadn't opened up yet. And we were like the only game in town. And that sucked because
You're crowded and you can't serve everybody, right?
and we don't want that responsibility.
Right.
Like, I love the Miami music culture and I love being somebody that puts on for my city, but I can't put on for everyone. Like, I'm not, like, there's so many DJs and so many people that have great projects that I don't even have room on our calendar to be able to program for because we're already booked up with a lot of other things that we're committed to. So there needs to be more venues. There had to be more venues. There has to be Dante's. There has to be ATV at the time. There has to be like Medium Cool, the band shell. Like, there has to be more like of that. Zay Zay is amazing. I mean, I love those guys, and they can serve an audience that I used to work with a lot in Bardot that goes there now, that I'm really happy to see finding its home. So yeah, even like my core audience at Bardot, like, I couldn't even really program those types of bands anymore. So there had to be a place for it. So it's just more of that smaller experience would be, it's great for the city.
Do you see nightlife and music festivals evolving toward a more experiential, immersive model?
I think so. I don't know, man. I think they're getting more niche. Like, the lineups you see are not really as diverse. The multi-genre festival is it's not happening like that anymore. We're a rare breed. There's like more like full-on electronic music festivals, or full-on hip-hop festivals, or full-on, like, what was that one, Forever Young or something like that, where it's all like Paramore and Sum 41 and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I think that niche model is maybe more immersive for people because they can dive into a genre specifically. Mm-hmm. I think there's more niche experiences happening and immersive experiences happening within festivals. We have Despacio that's been with us for a couple times, and that is a very immersive experience where James Murphy and Too Many DJs designed this beautiful sound room with Macintosh sound system, and it's really coordinated lighting display, and they play back to back the whole time on records, and that's unlike anything I've ever been to. You know, it's super immersive because once you're in there, it's like you're like a part of the room. So I think more of those type of things within bigger festivals, you'll see a lot more of. But no, I don't even know any. Like, I can't tell you another festival that's popped up recently that I've been like, I need to go see because I think that will blow my mind. Maybe that's not me knowing enough about what's going on overseas, but domestically, I couldn't tell you. I would down to hear if there is something like that.
To the inner Tesla, partner ex-wrestler, he dates for Cheska, partner ex-wrestler.